Let's head over to the sports desk now, where Morena Motupi is standing by with some exciting sports news today.
He's eagerly excited. He's even now just shooting the gun before you even get to tell people that he's going to be speaking to Europe. So I'm excited because 40 teams have descended on Cape Town. This is for the 2022 Rugby World Cup Sevens. The Springbok Sevens and the Springbok Women's Sevens have the added pressure of being the host team, and it's because we're hosting this competition for the first time. But of course, playing in front of home fans should give them much needed motivation. As we've been chatting to him for much of the morning, our reporter Justin Ford, as well as our sports editor Vata Ngobeni, are in the mother city following this historic competition, and they're joining us for another update. A very good morning, Justin. I'm going to start off with you, of course. You guys are there with the backdrop of the Table Mountain. We've been speaking about, what we can expect in terms of Cecil Africa's return, Neil Powell's swan song, the ladies, of course, having that pressure to step up as this is their home competition. But we haven't, really touched on the fans and what they're expecting, who's going to be accommodating them and such.
Yeah, absolutely, Morena. I think, an event like this speaks to a lot more than just the rugby. I spoke to you earlier about the entertainment factor and how rugby really is, especially the Sevens side of the game, becomes a sideshow to the entertainment. Cape Town Sevens, people dressing up, really that party atmosphere is what it's all about. And with that being said, events like this and many other are a welcome return after a very difficult time with COVID-19 lockdown restrictions for the hospitality industry, for tourism. So we've been hosted by the Hotel Sky, a unique viewing point that we were able to secure just yesterday late afternoon, and we arrived last night to be amazed by what we were able to see and bring you this morning with the view of the stadium, the view of Table Mountain, Signal Hill, Lions Head. We saw the sunrise this morning, and we are joined by the General Manager, Mercia Horn. No relation to Frankie Horn, another Blitzbox legend. But Mercia is here to talk to about the fact that the hotel actually opened up during hard lockdown and tells us a story about how they were able to create jobs when other jobs were being shut down. Mercia, a good moment for yourselves as an institution, as an hotel, to be able to keep that industry alive during very difficult time?
Absolutely, Justin. We go back, we opened in April last year, and it was a time when it was very quiet, and most of the hotels were closed at the time, and we were able to go into some homes to provide food by employing mothers, fathers, daughters and sons. And for us, that was very important. And I think that was the win behind the wings of our owners to want and was persistent to open the hotel during COVID-19.
A very big part of your operation talks to the fact that you have been able to use local suppliers as well. That way, continuing to generate an income to various people around, stimulating the economy. Just talk us through that decision.
Yeah, it's important that we look after each other. I think COVID hit everyone. There was no single person that it wasn't, didn't affect. And it was important for us to spend our money with our own people and being able to understand what is happening in our own backyards and feed those once again during such a difficult time as we all experienced.
I know we joked off air. You said only 2 questions. Mercia, your hotel is unique in such a way. We've actually got a theme ride here as well at the top of your hotel. How special is it to have the Sky High ride?
It's amazing. I think we're very different. We look different. We feel different from your traditional hotels, and it was something that we wanted to do. It's one of its kind in Africa, 3rd in the world that our hotel has a ride. So yeah, it's very important. Provide again footfall to the hotel and to the institute.
Morena, she said she was going to walk off air if I ask her more than 1 question, more than 2 questions. So thankfully she's going to remain. Bringing in Vata Ngobeni, as you mentioned, our sports editor, joining me all the way from Johannesburg. Vata, the format of the competition, it's straight knockout. It's not a pool stages like we are used to during the World Seven Series. Does it make things different? Does it make it difficult for the teams to be able to actually, compete really in that sense?
Yeah, I think, Justin, as difficult as it is on the field, I would not want to get on this. And I don't think the players want to get on this. I hear that some teams did.
Yes, they did.
They did get on the ride. Yeah, I think the USA got on the ride last night.
The USA last night came down. They came to the hotel and they went up. And it was just part of preparing.
So yeah, their preparations, I think they're going to be good for the knockouts. Again, it's a lottery. Once it gets to this kind of competition, no pool stages, so no second opportunities. It's a really a once-off. So every team has got to be at their best, and I think the Springbok Sevens team will thrive under these conditions because they've shown over the years how good and adept they are when it really matters the most. So, no second chances for no teams, and I think it lends itself to fantastic rugby for the fans, but I think even for the players themselves, they will thrive on such a format because, again, it means every team has got to be at their best.
The word, or the phrase that was being used this week is leveling the playing ground. Nobody potentially can call themselves an underdog. With that being said, the loss of the Queen passing yesterday must come as a big shock to the England players. What are they going through right now? We understand that the third and final test between the Springboks, day 2 action, not the Springboks, the Proteas and England, that day 2 has been suspended. What are these players going through at the moment, waking up knowing that there's a World Cup that they still have to perform at?
A lot of emotions. I think the world was stunned last night with the passing of the Queen. And again, a wonderful gesture from the sporting world with the Proteas again playing England. That's a serious decider for them to just say, let's take a moment, let's acknowledge the passing of a great monarch, the longest serving monarch in the history of England. But at the same time, it's not just England that I think are going to be going through a lot of emotions. A lot of the teams that are playing here come from the Commonwealth. They owe their allegiance to the Queen of England. So the emotions will be there. I think World Rugby will definitely make a plan to mark the passing of the monarch. But at the same time, it's also a time to celebrate. She lived a wonderful life, a long life, was part to a lot of change within the colonial system as well, and acknowledged countries like South Africa and its transition to democracy. We've seen a lot of nations, not pull away the allegiance to the monarch, but become republics of their own, but still part of the Commonwealth as well. So it's an opportunity for us to celebrate, the monarch. It's an opportunity for the Commonwealth again to remind the world of the power of a united front. So yeah, the emotions will be there of sadness, but more than anything, I think celebration. I think in such occasions, it's for us to celebrate those great people that have been part of our society.
I like that a lot. And you talk about the power, and it's that power of sport as well. And more specifically, the Queen, we know her to have loved the horse racing as well, often turning up there. So a very special moment, absolutely. So we are making our way down to the stadium soon, and we'll bring you some more action from the actual stadium, get to speak to a bit of the fans, as well as trying to get some more comment from those British fans and sort of just the feelings and emotions that they're going through, Morena. But we are ready to party, I think. So let's head down from the Hotel Sky sort of platform and hopefully then start bringing you some action from closer to the stadium.
All right, thank you very much, Justin. Myself and the rest of the team, the eNCA sports team, will be living vicariously through you and our editor, Vatango Beni. But we'll leave it there for now. Of course, we do continue the rolling coverage, of course, of the Rugby World Cup, that is at Rugby Sevens World Cup, that is happening at the Cape Town Stadium. That's where we leave it for now.